Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another installment of OTR. I'm Shawnee.
I'm
Okay.
Amanda.
Okay, I'm Kenise.
And I'm Amanda.
Back. We're back. We're back, baby. We're
Better
back.
than ever. New month, new month.
Yes.
Let's
So
go.
we are practicing our wellness from last month, and now we're stepping into May. We had a lot of viewers request updates from our first caller, Vanessa. So that might be coming at the end of this episode. I don't know. You
Okay.
guys will have to stay tuned.
You were able to
But
touch base with her, Shawnee? Look at you.
we were able to reach out, and she so graciously decided that she was going to provide us with an update. So that's going to be at the end of the episode. So don't fast
Okay.
forward because we have another viewer who actually wrote in this time to us. So they did email
Okay.
us, and we can insert our email again once here. We're here to dish out some advice if you want it. So you
Mm-hmm.
guys ready for this one?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go.
All right. Okay, so this caller calls in,
Mm-hmm.
and the subject line says, "Need advice on a complicated relationship situation." So, hi, OTR. First off, I just want to say I love the show. Oh, thank you.
And
You
we've
guys,
only been around. How long we've been around? We need to celebrate our anniversary or something.
is this like our 10th episode?
I don't know. We should have been able to know that before.
I don't know.
I don't know. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we have been on this short time been able to help some listeners. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, so apparently it's been going well because the caller says that they love they love the show. You guys can always keep it real. I appreciate how thoughtful and honest your advice is. I'm
Mhm.
hoping you can help me out with something I've been struggling with. I've been seeing someone for the past 6 months, and while things started off really great, lately I've been feeling really confused about where we stand. We've never had a serious define the relationship talk, and every time I try to bring it up, they either brush it off or change the subject. On top of that, I recently found out that they've still been in touch with their ex. Nothing necessarily shady, but it did make me feel uncomfortable and a little insecure. I'm not sure if I'm overreacting or if this is a red flag I shouldn't ignore. I care about them a lot, but I also don't want to keep guessing where I fit into their life. Should I push harder for clarity, or is it time to walk away if they won't give me a straight answer?
Oof.
Yikes.
This one's layered.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, it's a lot of stuff to process.
Yeah.
What do you ladies think? Just first reactions, I guess.
So, sorry, remind me again, how long have they been seeing each other?
She says, and yes, I know it's a she because of she did put her name, but we're going to keep it anonymous. We will always keep you anonymous here. But it says that they have been seeing each other for 6 months now, and they haven't had the what
Talk.
are we the talk.
Mm.
Walk. All right, let's see. I don't know. Let Amanda go first.
A couple things that are standing out. So, okay, you haven't had the talk, but she didn't give much information about how the relationship is going, right? Or
Hmm.
did she?
She did say that she cared about them a lot. She
Okay.
didn't even say like, she said cared, which
Hmm.
Mm.
signals to me that there is some depth to this
Okay.
relationship or whatever it is at this point.
So we're gonna have to base our advice, quote unquote, on the limited information. We're gonna assume that the relationship is going well enough for you to care about this person and develop some sort of feelings towards them. And the fact that you're asking, yourself, like, where do we stand? It means that it has to be going somewhat good. A couple of things are happening. Why did he reach out to his ex? Like, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Do they have a friendship, or was this something that, like, was there a reason why he reached out? I feel like that's something you need to clarify with him open and honestly.
And how did you find out? See, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
I appreciate the emails, but like I feel like we're so limited with information.
Yes.
Like, how did you find that out on your own? Like, did
Did
you
he tell
see like
you?
a text on the phone? Like, was it like, but she said nothing shady. So maybe he was open and honest
Yeah,
about, his either him being in communication with his ex.
right.
So I guess it comes down to having the conversation. Now, he's not bringing it up. So if I were you, I think it's time to bring it up. It's 6 months of your time. You clearly are invested in some capacity. The fact that you haven't left since you reached out to the ex means that, it probably wasn't surprising, or it wasn't something that was disrespectful to make you feel any type of way. So I would say we need to start preparing to have that conversation, because you like him, you want to be here. So let's talk about making this official, because I think 6 months is a long time, girl. What are you doing?
I disagree.
Really? 6 months?
No, 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 not
Oh,
about that part. I feel like this should have been defined like 3 months ago at this point.
yes, yes.
But why should she have to bring it up?
Because if you're gonna get
Men
the advice,
and men are natural hunters, right? If we're
yes,
going
they are.
to the laws of nature, I feel like men, if they know that they like you, obviously in norm, right? I'm not generalizing that this is how it is for everyone, but
Yeah.
generally speaking, I feel like men just go after what they want, right? And I feel like why should she have to, I guess if it's bothering her this much that she's writing it
Mhm.
to us, right? You communicate that, that's healthy communication. But I just feel like it's been 6 months and he hasn't brought it up. So
It's a long time for you to be going like willy-nilly, like, oh, are we in this? Are we not? And do I take you to Easter dinner or do I not? Like, what do I do with you?
yeah, yeah. And I get the part of not having clarity. I feel that's very bothersome. But I don't know. This guy's already rubbing me the wrong way. I don't even know who this is.
Mhm. I think if he really liked her, he would respect her, whether it's either she found out a certain way and he didn't about the ex-girlfriend, or he did tell her. I think if he tells her, that's a big deal, right? Like he said, oh, I spoke to my ex and X, Y, and Z. For me, that says a lot about
Mhm.
where they are in their relationship. But if he didn't tell her and she just happened to find out, and she's just maybe reading a text that says, hey, how are you? Just checking in. And she doesn't think there's anything there just based on a text message, then there's something else going on there. I wouldn't step out and start dating again with somebody else, but I want to be transparent. If I really like this guy, and it sounds like she does, and I would have an open conversation, just say, hey, just want to know where we stand.
But okay, I'm rereading the email, right? So she does say every time I try to bring it up, they either brush it off or change the subject. Now, what would you say to that
Which
part?
Boy,
part? The
bye.
girlfriend?
Boy, bye.
No, the define the relationship part.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta
Well,
back your bags.
okay. Well, before Amanda, before you say goodbye to him, maybe there's things that she needs to change. Maybe he is interested because he's with her. Maybe
Mhm.
there's certain things that she needs to change. And guys don't really communicate very well.
They don't. That's true. So maybe she can seek feedback, I guess, but I don't.
No, absolutely not. I
Why
don't think
not?
she needs to change it because the person that you're meant to be with will accept you as you are, as you come, as you present. I truly think if you ever have to change yourself for someone, I don't think that's your person. I
I
think there's a big difference though in being self-aware, right?
yes, yes.
There is a difference of being presented with, hey, I really don't like how, I don't know, we communicate during arguments or whatever the case
Mhm.
is, right? Being self-aware, that's different. But what could she have to change that he hasn't communicated? Hey, the guy's already showing signs of bad communication.
I mean,
How do we not know? Maybe he shared it with her and she doesn't even take it. So then she's writing in this letter that he's brushing it off.
But then, okay, if there is something that he did bring up to her and she maybe avoided the information from the email, I don't know. But like, and it hasn't changed, right? Which is the reason why he hasn't defined the relationship. Then why is he continuously stringing her along? Why is he
Well, because
wasting
he
her
likes
time?
her.
no, he likes the convenience of having her. Let's get it right, because I feel like if he really liked her, he would, because even if you don't, let's say, see an improvement in the person, like let's say you told them, like, I don't like X, Y, and Z. I would want you to improve in this. Okay, fine. I like you enough. I'm gonna try to adjust. Okay, whatever that is. Like, if it's not working after that, you're not seeing the improvement that you desire, man speaking, let her go. Like her enough, respect her enough to let her go. Don't let, why are we letting her hang out there for 6 months? Like, I feel like that's just bad business.
But Amanda, I've heard from guys, right? So guys who would tell me this is guy code, right? I don't know if you guys have guy friends and they tell you, I'm not even supposed to tell you this, but because you're my female friend and I love you, but I'm not. And it's really like a thing, this guy code thing. A friend of mine had told me, he was like, guys never break up with the girl. And the reason why they don't like breaking up with the girl is because they always want to be able to come back through that door. If they break up, so if you at the females, we break up with them, and we want to come back, they're going to be like, well, you broke up with me first. That's the reason why. I was told by guy code. So I was like, really?
Typical.
So I think he's gonna wait for her to make the move. He's not going to make the move. So he'll treat her however he wants. But I do feel like we just need a little bit more from this caller. I'm appreciative that she did email us and she wants to get into this relationship. It means for her to actually sit down on her phone or a laptop or whatever and write us an email and took the time out of her day. She obviously likes this guy, because honestly, I would not be writing us an email for a guy who is brushing me off. Like, I'll be like, no, I can make this decision without OTR. So I feel very loved right now that somebody trusted us with their life, their love life. I'm overwhelmed.
And I do appreciate you sharing that, because that's a vulnerable thing to share, right? And let's be honest, at some point, maybe at least one of us in this probably situation has been with someone where you're not really that sure where it's going. I'm not saying for 6 months, but maybe it's for a shorter time. So maybe what we could do for our writer is help them have this conversation. Like, how do they bring it
Right.
up, and how do they kind of work around when he starts to wiggle his way, no, like not wanting to have that conversation? What are some tips that you would give her?
So you be the girl, you be our writer, and Shawnee will be the guy. Let's,
Okay.
let's role play it out now.
Okay. So
Okay.
I need,
And I'm going to be the ex-girlfriend.
okay. All right. You ready?
And
Ready, Shawnee?
action.
Yeah.
Hey, Shawnee. I really,
No,
why?
no.
You don't even know what I'm gonna ask you though.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we've been dating for some time, and I've enjoyed our time together. It's been a great 6 months or so, but I feel like it's time for us to just have a conversation about where do we see this going.
Hey, look, a bird. Did you see the bird?
I did. It's blue, so let's get back.
You sound hungry. Do you want food?
Actually, I do. Do you want to like Uber Eats me? So by the time we're done this conversation, we could, I'll eat, I'll be happy.
I'm sorry, I think my mom is calling. Hang on.
Okay, wait.
Oh no, it's just my ex-girlfriend.
Hi, boo. How are you? I
Hey
missed
girl, what's
you.
up?
I need you to do me a fave, okay?
I hope this is not how it played out.
I hope so
We're
too.
not making fun of you at all. This is not,
No, no.
but we
But
want you to see it from like a third person. We definitely over exaggerated what the situation probably is. But if I had to give you advice, I would say you need to stop wasting your time and your energy on this particular person, and you just need to redirect that energy into yourself and finding someone that aligns better with you.
Mhm.
Because I personally feel, and yes, Kenise, to your point, I do have guy friends, and they do have shared, the guy mentality, and if they say this or they do this, this is actually what it really means. I feel like guys know. I feel like it shouldn't take more than a 3 months for a guy to like figure out and pursue you and want to lock that down. 3 months or sooner. I feel like too soon is just a few weeks, but I feel like a 3 months is like a really nice,
sweet spot.
it's a sweet spot. and locking you down. And I feel like, you know, a guy who knows what he wants, and if you're the person that he wants, he's going to make those steps. He's going to make his intentions really clear from the jump. And the longer you prolong,
Right.
you know, really sitting him down and getting his attention and, you know, not getting a straight answer from him, like, and I guess it goes back to my original question, why should you have to ask, you know?
Mhm,
Like,
mhm,
for me personally, if I have to ask for something significant in a relationship, then I don't even want it anymore.
mhm,
You know what I
mhm,
mean? Because we're clearly on two different pages. So
mhm.
that's my take. I don't know if you guys agree or have a different take.
Yeah, I was in a relationship for 5 years after my divorce, and he did tell me from the beginning that he wasn't planning on ever getting remarried. He needs 7 to 10 years. And obviously, I didn't believe him because I was like, okay, well, that's ridiculous. Why you need seven? You're with me. Hello. And I remember like our last conversation because I know like he would never say that we're dating. He would never say like, I knew we were definitely he wasn't dating anybody else and I wasn't dating anybody else. Now it was a long distance relationship as well. So we didn't see each other like every day or every week. Saw each other like maybe twice a month. But we talked a lot. Like we had a great vibe going on. But at the end of it ended after 5 years and I ended it. Now notice he never ended it, ever
Wow.
ended it. And so, and I'll tell you when I said to him, I'm like, you never officially stated like Kenise, like you're my girlfriend, and we're gonna work towards 7 years. And we were like 5 years in. I'm like, you want me to wait 7 to 10 years before you're not even thinking marriage? You just are gonna think at that point, between 7 and 10 years. That's when you're gonna think about if you want marriage. And I remember the day that I broke up with him, and I was like, I'm just so done. I'm like, I really love you. I really care for you. I really do. Like, I really like you know, when you find like a love, he was really, I think, a love for me. I
Mm.
don't think I'll ever have that again. I never did afterwards. And even like with my ex-husband, the feeling wasn't like that. But like a year later, we didn't talk for a year. And finally he reached out to me. So you see, because I broke up with him, that gave him the okay to reach back out. And then I was like, well, what's going on? He was like, well, you broke up with me. He was like, I never broke up with you. So I was like, don't play this game. Really don't play this game. Don't do that. Don't go there. And then we're still like every so often we talk to one another, like a text, like Happy Mother's Day, because he has kids. I tell him Happy Father's Day. But outside of that, like you just don't want to, like Shawnee said, to waste your life.
Hmm.
I agree with them. As the voice of reason on this show, I feel like 3 months is good enough. Men know what they want and they will go after, like Shawnee said initially. So you don't want to waste your time. And as females, maybe you guys can answer this. Why do we feel the need to stay? Because I still ask myself the questions. 5 years, guys, 5 years. And he didn't say anything that was dishonest, but I gave up 5 years of my life thinking that it would change, and it never did. Oh, you guys look so sad. I'm sorry.
Not sad, but I think, yeah, there's definitely a lesson to be learned when it comes to time. More so what you want, right, for yourself. I think it's just going back to one of our episodes. I think we had
Hmm.
talked about this where you really just need to reflect on what you want. And if a relationship is what you want, if you want that relationship to eventually turn into an engagement, if you want that engagement to turn into a marriage, if you want to have kids, all these different things as females, you know, I didn't quite get your age, so I don't know where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if these are things that you know in your heart that you want, why would you entertain someone that isn't giving it to you? And I think, Kenisi asked a really good question. I feel like we've all been in those like similar situations where maybe we do stay a little bit longer than our
Yeah.
brain would, you know, advise
Because
again.
like I would tell you, Shawnee, not to do it, but I just couldn't get out on my own. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, why you're so stupid, kiddies? You're so dumb. Because if you guys came to me with that same scenario, I would tell you guys, oh, what are you doing? You're wasting your time. And here I am, like 5 years in this. So I'm just curious, why do we wait? Why do we do this to ourselves? Where are the red flags?
We I think every female has a red flag in them deep down. I think it's just because women are just natural. nurturers, and I think we just have that in us. And I think when we meet someone and it's undeniable chemistry and it just flows, and it's very rare to find a personality that's going to fit yours. Like,
Mhm.
you could shoot a joke and they shoot it right back to you, and it's very rare to find someone that's going to match you in that sense. So when you have that, but then there's other things that just aren't playing into the betterment of the relationship, I feel like in our brain we know what to do, but in our hearts it's just like,
Two
I can't
different
let this
languages.
go yet. I can't let this go yet.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like we know sometimes what we should do, what we would tell our,
Mm,
our best friend to do, but for you to do it yourself, it's hard because emotions are involved.
yeah,
And I think sometimes, I don't know how you guys feel about this. I feel like we're raised to stick it out. Like, it will get better. You don't want to be the one to bow out because you believe in it.
right.
But I want to say to people that it's okay to step away from something, that no longer serves you. And to Shawnee's point, maybe taking some time to reflect will help you kind of get to that decision for yourself and kind of get the confidence to probably step away from something that no longer serves you. And it doesn't help the fact that we have a biological clock.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the other part of it too. But you have to, at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. And that's what I think I would want to leave our caller with. The conversation needs to be had. And it's not necessarily asking him, oh, like, are you going to pick me? Are you going to make me your girlfriend? It's not really that. It's like, hey, we've been together for this long. However, I see we're not solidifying, the relationship. And I'm just curious to know, why is it that we haven't really had this discussion? Haven't,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where you get your feedback. And okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not to say you're going to jump as soon as he says yes. You should have some sort of explanation why it's taken that long.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just go, like, if he says, oh, cool, we'll be in a relationship. No, there's a reason why he didn't do it. So you want to understand that reason and then decide for yourself, does this align with what I want for myself? Do I want a man who's going to take 6 months to tell me, yes, baby, you're mine? Think about
No, 3 months. You heard it right here at OTR. Three
3 months
months,
is
ladies.
good.
Tree, then cut them off.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's okay to cut them off. And you don't have to wait for him to do it. Yes, he wants to keep his little window open. Boy, bye. Like, no, no.
So let me ask a question. You said something really good. So after 3 months, right, you break it off.
Hmm.
He goes his way. 2 months later, he comes back and he's like, yes, Amanda, or to our writer, I want this to work. You're my girl, blah, blah, blah. So now you're like excited. Would you go back with him? But then what happens if he starts changing back?
Then
I
you
don't
have your answer for the second time, like reconfirmation, I guess.
And I wouldn't jump into it again. Like if you came back now and said, like, I really thought about it and I miss what we had. Okay, I could have told you that, but maybe if you are still emotionally invested, you know, you can probably say, we can see where it goes. We can talk, but I'm not all of a sudden going to go from single woman to your girlfriend. What I waited for at this point is what, 6 and 2, 8 months. No, 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 you don't get that privilege. If Let's see if this friendship can develop into something, because if that chemistry, that connection was real, it will manifest again organically. But you don't just get to come back and say, oh yeah, I want you. Okay, I'm ready, baby. Let's go. Let's pick up where we left off. Get the heck out of here, man. Like, I'm too old for that.
What
I'm
about
I don't
telling
know your
you.
age, but
You know what it
I'm too
signals
old.
to me? It signals that it didn't work out with that other girl, and now you're coming
What?
back.
Yes.
yeah.
The X, right? Okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ex. It didn't work out again, so now you're rebounding with me.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're right,
Mm-hmm.
Amanda. Say it again. Get out of my face.
Boy, bye.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. I think that's some good advice, solid advice.
Yeah, so caller, I hope you found this helpful. We're definitely waiting for an update on what you decide to do, so don't be afraid to either call in next time or write back to us, whatever you're most comfortable with. And let us know how this played out. But
Yeah.
wishing you all the luck in your situation. You
Yeah.
got this. You
Mhm.
are a strong female. I think you know in your gut what you need to do. But take some time, reflect on it, and yeah, keep us posted.
Yeah. Thank you.
So coming up next, we have by popular demand, we have
Oh,
Vanessa,
Vanessa,
My
our
favorite
first
red
guest.
flag.
our first OTR caller. She's going to be joining us again and giving us that well anticipated update from her first date. So stay tuned.
Having
Okay, welcome back. Again, by popular demand, we have an update from our very first caller, Vanessa. So, for those of you who might have forgotten, or if this is your first time just kind of tuning in, Vanessa was our first OTR caller, called in looking for advice on her first date. So, there was a lot of things. You guys can go back to that episode. It's one of like our first couple of episodes to hear a little bit more of the details. But just really quickly, Vanessa was someone going on a first date with this guy. She didn't seem to be into it so much. In our opinion, kind of walked into that date with a slightly negative attitude, but we were hoping that our advice did have some impact with Vanessa and how she went on that date. Well, first of all, Vanessa, welcome back. Thanks so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
All right. So the viewers, they want to know, one, did you go on the date? Because we know you didn't want to. And two, if you did go on the date, tell us what happened.
You want all the details?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
So yes, I did go on it. We did go out that Saturday.
Great.
Details, it went fine. Texted me the night before to confirm. I was
Okay.
waiting on that. If the person didn't text me to confirm, I wasn't gonna go, but he
Okay,
did.
fair.
Showed up, he told me he was there. We got coffee, we sat and we spoke. We had some good conversations.
He got there first.
Um, I'm not sure, honestly. I know I got there and I pulled into the parking lot, and then he texted me saying I got there first actually, because I saw him pull up into the parking
Hmm.
lot.
Hmm. Interesting. Continue. Okay, so you got there first technically
Yes, I got there
because
first.
you
Yes.
saw him pull in. You guys,
Yes,
I'm sorry, it was a coffee date, right?
this is correct. Yes, a little coffee date.
Okay, continue.
You know how Shawnee feels about those.
It was nice. He did get me flowers, which was
Oh,
nice.
that's cute.
Did you feel a little
sweet.
butterflies in your tummy?
Oh, little
No,
butterfly.
because he did not hold the door open for me, so
Oh,
didn't
oh.
like that.
So he went in first without you?
This is correct. Yes.
Oh,
Like he
no.
went, like we met outside, but then he walked in, and you know, like when a stranger holds the door for you
Mhm.
when you're behind him, that's what he
Yeah.
did.
Maybe he was nervous and forgot his chivalry for a moment. Did he pay for your coffee?
He did, yes.
Okay.
Okay. You
It
said the
was that.
conversation was good. So you want to tell us a little bit about what you guys spoke about?
We spoke about like what we're looking for, our past relationships, as well as like what we're interested in, like TV shows or reading. We did speak a lot about, you know, the religious aspect of our life because
Okay.
we are both religious, and what we're looking for in a future partner.
Mm.
Sounds like great conversation.
That's
So
good
what happened?
conversation.
We're total opposites.
Mm.
Ooh.
So
In what way?
So like he likes the sitcoms and the comedy shows. Like I don't really care for that kind of stuff. I like the drama shows. Um,
Okay,
What?
that's not a bad
So,
thing.
You guys have your own
so
TV.
wait a minute. So, okay. So did you hold that? So you're holding that against him as like an opposite, right?
yeah, just our interests are totally different, which is like,
It's just TV shows, though.
but
Yeah,
there
like
was
people
other
that
stuff
I've
as well.
Vanessa, people that I've dated and I've been in relationships with, we don't like the same TV shows. Okay, but continue. Sorry, I'm not passing judgment.
We listen and don't judge, ladies.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Vanessa, so you guys have different interests in shows. That's where you differ. Any other like major, I guess, red flags in your eyes?
Besides the not holding the door and not pulling out the seat for me, I don't like that. I was ready to leave at that point. Like that's red flag for me.
You're a tough cookie.
I
I mean,
know.
it's just, I mean, I've seen the way other first dates go and how
Mm.
women should be treated, so
Yeah,
took that
I
into
like that. Hold
consideration.
your boundaries,
That's
Vanessa.
right. I think that's
Keep
great.
those standards, girl.
Hi.
Very high. Okay.
Okay,
So,
so good.
I'm sorry. So, Vanessa, what did you learn from this first date? Any takeaways on your end?
I think it's just trusting the process. Like I
Mm,
had an open mind going in. Obviously,
yes.
the last episode I said I didn't want to go,
Yeah.
but
Mm-hmm.
I did have an open mind going in,
Mhm.
just trying to see maybe this could be, something.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. Because you didn't sound like that the last time you left, which
Right.
is why we called you a red flag. Um, because you didn't sound like it's like you didn't even want to make the effort to go, but I'm glad that you went and you were able to kind of come to this conclusion to trust the process.
Mhm.
So,
Anything else?
so Vanessa, any other dates since that last one that
No,
you went on?
nothing.
No?
No, I'm working on me right now. I'm not taking the time working on me, working on my faith aspect as well, trying
Okay.
to grow. That's more important right now. I'm trusting the timing.
I love
It
that.
happens, it happens.
Well, would you trust OTR to set you up on a blind date?
Please let us do it.
Yes. And can we do a makeover too? Like we don't know what you look like, but can we like put input into stuff like that to prepare you for the date? Oh my God, please say yes.
Yes.
We wouldn't air this out, by the way. We would probably just do a recap with you,
Yeah.
Vanessa, for the viewers. But you're very popular. People were writing in and letting us know how much they enjoyed your episode. I felt like on different levels people could relate to you.
Right. And even like our friends, right? Sean, you were saying, and Amanda, like our friends that listened to our show was just like, they were very into what you were saying and getting an update.
So I think that Vanessa, when you are ready, I should say, would you be okay with OTR setting you up on a date?
I think if the viewers want me to go and do it, then of course we
All
will.
All
right,
right.
guys,
I'll let
drop
the
it in the
viewers
comments
decide.
right now.
Yes. 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 Okay. I think that's great. That's a great response.
I love
Vanessa, thank
that.
you.
Vanessa, you've shown so much growth from the last
Yes, that's
episode.
exactly what
that.
I'm thinking. This is a whole different Vanessa.
Time changes people.
You
Yeah,
go, girl.
you were only here a couple of weeks ago. You were here for like a year ago.
It
But you
sounds
definitely
like
sound,
self-reflection as well played a
yeah,
big
you sound
part
like
in
you're
this.
in a better place. You sound happier, and for you to say like, hey, whatever the viewers would want, like I think it's great if OTR can make a match, send you on. I will pay for your date, have you go out, your
100%.
Starbucks date, that is,
Yeah.
a dinner date, like Shani.
Your first date from OTR will be a dinner date. Expenses paid by the OTR gang over
We'll
here.
invest in that. Listen, I
Yeah.
invest in love. I love that.
Yes. Okay. Well,
That's
Vanessa,
amazing.
thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate you calling in and providing us with the update. You'll always have a special place in our hearts because you are or were our first caller. So yeah, guys, our viewers, stay tuned. Our journey is not quite done yet with Vanessa, it sounds like. So she may be popping in a later episode. Who knows? We'll see. But I think that calls it for today with Ask OTR. So don't be afraid to comment or shoot us an email. We're going to insert the email right here. You can contact us if you have any challenges that you're going through or anything that you'd like our input on. So that's us signing off for now.
Bye.
See you guys.
Love you guys. Thanks, Vanessa.